We have a huge diaspora in almost in every country. The biggest ones are in Saudi Arabia and in UAE. So, you are already aware that in the attack in Abu Dhabi, unfortunately, one of our Pakistani, national was also martyred in that attack. Our missions in the region remain fully engaged with the diaspora and remain in close contact with local authorities for facilitation and with our foreign office, constant reach out to our missions and through the missions to the diaspora. We have also, issued advisory giving detail of all the countries and the diaspora the way they should get in touch. The crisis management unit has been activated in the foreign office here, as well as our missions in the entire region. Pakistan have always supported a cessation of hostilities, upholding the international law and principles of the UN Charter, resumptions of diplomacy to find a peaceful and negotiated solution. I would like to briefly share with you that all the efforts to bring peace, in the Middle East, particularly in Gaza, Pakistan has been a contributor in all those efforts, starting from formally and I would say seriously starting from 24th of September last year on the sidelines of UNGA, where 5 Arab countries, Saudi Arabia, UAE, Qatar, Egypt, and Jordan, and 3 Islamic countries, Pakistan, Turkey, and Indonesia. If we call it Group of 8 Arab Islamic countries. We had very meaningful engagement with President Trump on 24th of September. That was the only thing visible on the media. The rest of the efforts which followed that meeting obviously were off media. And that's which led ultimately, because it was decided that the 8 foreign ministers of the 8 countries who had dialogue on the sidelines of UNGA with President Trump and his team, and the agenda was only one, and that was bringing peace back to Gaza, settlement of the issue, and unhindered flow of human assistance, humanitarian aid, as well as the ceasefire immediate. Although we know that it led to Sharm el-Sheikh, the peace agreement signing, followed by in Davos, where the Board of Peace signing took place. And now, 19th of February, we had Board of Peace first inaugural meeting. So all these been attended by Prime Minister of Pakistan, and I accompanied him. And I think the things were showing very positive progress. We appreciate the efforts made by all concerned, particularly 7 other brotherly countries who have made equal effort with us to bring the Gaza issue to that point. I must also share with you that UK held, I think, very timely meeting in the UN Security Council. They had presidency this month, and I was invited by my counterpart, Excellency Ebert Coopers, to attend the UN Security Council meeting, which was the day prior to the Board of Peace meeting on 19th of February. It was 18th of February, and I especially flew from Austria to attend that meeting, in New York, and our statement was very, very clear. It is on record, and it is available on the website of Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Pakistan. You can just go through and, frankly, we don't mince words, and we call spade a spade, and wherever principle demands, we do act accordingly. We have excellent relationship. We have great relationship with China. We have very good relations with the current administration of the United States. We have great relations with all brotherly countries. But I think unless we all believe and act accordingly, that the international law and the UN Charter and the conventions are to be respected and followed, I think then there will be no peace any part of the world. Maybe this time this region. Earlier, I remember last year we had the presidency in July. We on purpose selected the word the theme for debate, which I chaired in UN Security Council meeting, was multilateralism, peaceful settlement of disputes. And I think UK also deserves compliments by picking the almost same subject on 18th of February, the peace in the peace process in the Middle East, including Palestine. So I think these efforts need to be complemented. We should all get strengthened. We should all get united. And I'm sure the sense will prevail, and these institutions can surely work very effectively. So these are few ideas I just wanted to very frankly, because these are the latest development. As I said, the original idea was the Afghanistan, because there were some queries. The spokesperson of Foreign Office has been keeping everybody updated on weekly briefing. But then my team asked me that I should also brief and have a sitting with you on Afghanistan. So I think, having talked about the recent last 3-4 days developments, I would now bring you back to Afghanistan, because there have been a number of queries from different missions. So I think I want to clarify our position. We surely want good friendly relations with all our neighborly countries. And you would recall that last year I made 3 trips to Afghanistan. After 4 years of gap, since the Taliban regime came in power, on 19th of April 2025, I just had a visit of Kabul with very open heart and mind. I discussed with them their economic issues, trade issues, political issues, refugees issues, anything they wish to touch. We were very open. We debated, we discussed, we took decisions, and without losing any time, from their soil, I held a press conference which was viewed both, including Pakistan and Afghanistan. So we didn't stop there. We came back and we implemented everything we decided and promised with our Afghan friends and with the regime. There had been 2 years earlier, during PDM government, 2022-2023, when I was finance minister, we had been working with them on a railway project, Uzbekistan, Pakistan connectivity through Afghanistan, through Karachi. Now that has been in cold storage. As a consequence of my visit of April, they finally agreed to sign the protocol agreement between 3 countries, which was signed in July. That was my second visit in July 2025. And all the 3 foreign ministers were there. We had our transport or railway ministers with us, who signed that agreement, which obviously was the kick-off of this project for the connectivity of Pakistan to the Central Asia, and through Central Asia even to the Europe and China and other parts of the world. So that was a very positive move. That was followed by a trilateral meeting in August last year, where my great friend, Foreign Minister Wang Yi, myself, and Mr. Muttaqi held the meeting, trilateral meeting. We have a trilateral forum, China, Pakistan, Afghanistan. And that was again very positive meeting. We had all the best. By the way, in all these meetings, Pakistan ask has been only one from Afghanistan, not a long list of wish list. And that is, please do not allow your soil to be used for terrorism against any neighboring countries, particularly Pakistan. This is the only ask, right in April, July and August. And unfortunately, that has not been complied with. I know they had issued religious fatwa, but we called it religious, obviously, decree. And there was about 1,000 scholars there. There was the Chief Justice of Afghanistan. There was the Prime Minister of Afghanistan. And they said, we will not allow soil the first time. This was just few months back. But there is no very verifiable actions which should have actually endorsed that fatwa is being implemented. And the things have been going fairly hot in the recent past. And we also elevated our diplomatic relations following my 3 visits. to the ambassadorial level, although the regime is not recognized. It was at the desire of our neighborly friendly country. Signing of framework agreement, as I said, took place. Early harvest programs are agreed. These are few things I'm just recounting for your memory. Afghan origin, Afghan bound trucks and containers to and from India, despite our war in May 2025, upon the request of Afghan side was facilitated. The decision of to extend CPAC to Afghanistan was agreed. This was during a trilateral meeting. Foreign Minister Wangi, myself, and to Kabul in August. Convening of joint coordination committee meeting of the border security issues. That was also grant of 4,500 scholarships to Afghan students in various fields, including medicines, engineering, and social science under the Lama Iqbal scholarships program. Despite of humanitarian relief assistance following the earthquake in eastern Afghanistan on 31st of August. This was again, an action we took. We allowed a liberal visa regime enabling Afghans to visit Pakistan legally for education, health, business, and family links. I would also like to highlight that Pakistan has played a proactive role in all important regional and international forums on Afghanistan, such as Quad, replicate this group, Trilateral Foreign Ministers Dialogue, Moscow format, OIC contact group, SCO, and neighboring countries format. So all these we have been supporting. And as I said, what is our ask or demand? Only one. Please do not allow the TTP, the BLA, the Majid Brigade, which have been prescribed by many countries, that to allow them or to provide the facilitation. This is the only issue we have. And as long as it is handled, it is removed, we have no issue with Afghanistan. We always have been, wishing to have best of the best relations with all the neighbors, including particularly Afghanistan. As part of these initiatives, Pakistan has consistently called for addressing Afghanistan's multifaceted challenges, in particular the humanitarian and economic situation in the country, which have a direct impact on Pakistan. So with these background, unfortunately in October, serious violations took place. Every week, our brave armed forces have to lift, the bodies of their soldiers and the officers, which is certainly not acceptable under any circumstances. We have the capacity, we have the will, we have, the kinetic capability to handle it in a very meaningful way. But we have been exercising extreme restraint and doing minimum reaction to what has been happening. What you have seen is absolutely, minimum in you can say, self-defense under Article 51 of the UN Charter, because we are the believer. And since we are sitting in the UN Security Council for the 2-year term as non-permanent member till 31st of December this year, so I think we exercise more care to respect the UN Charter and all these things. So unfortunately, Pakistan had, as a consequence of the repeated, by the way, you must recall also that after October, serious violations and attacks, there were rounds, our brotherly country, Qatar, they requested us to allow diplomatic engagement. We sent our team, our defense minister, with the team visited Qatar. There were dialogues, but the outcome was nothing, nil. Then it was followed by a dialogue in Istanbul. The outcome was nil. And then even Saudi Arabia. So we had now no choice but to launch Operation Ghazbul Haq in response to repeated terrorist attacks by Fitna al-Khawarij and Fitna al-Hindustan against Pakistan emanating from Afghanistan soil, as well as the recent unwarranted and provocative actions by Afghan Taliban regime on the night of as late as 26th of February. So you see, this has led us, has forced us to now take it, now seriously. And some high-profile terrorism incidents include the suicide attack on judicial complex in Islamabad in November 2025, coordinated assault by BLA elements across the entire Balochistan province in January 2026, a suicide bombing on an Imarga in February 2026, which alone took, shahadats of 31 civilians and injured 170 innocent, people who were praying there, and recent terrorist incidents in Bajod, Bannu, and Khyber Pakhtunkhwa province. Now, this is the background. This is why we had now no choice but to launch, this Ghazbul Haq operation. Pakistan has conclusive evidence that the recent acts of terrorism in Bajod and Bannu, which is very recent, last a couple of weeks, were perpetrated by TTP at the behest of their Afghanistan-based leadership and handlers. Responsibility for these attacks was claimed by the TTP already and their affiliates as well as ISKP. Prior to the launch of operation, but what I said, Ghazbul Haq, Pakistan carried out intelligence-based selective targeting of 7 terrorist camps and hideouts on 21st February 2026. When I fixed this meeting, I just wanted to share all these facts with the diplomatic corps. You're all friendly countries, so that it should be on your record and you would be sharing it with your capitals. So, as I said, that the events have overtaken now in the last 3-4 days. Pakistan actions were proportionate, minimum, and measured with careful planning in order to make sure that the only terrorist camps and hideouts are hit and civilian population should not be targeted and should be saved. In response to repeated terrorist attacks by Fitna al-Kharij and Fitna Hindustan against Pakistan from the Afghan soil, as well as the latest, as I said, the provocative actions by the Taliban regime on 53 locations across 15 sectors. 53 locations across 15 sectors in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa province on the night of 26 February. Now, this is horrifying, and this is totally lunatic, that it's like going mad. So this 26th of February, 53 locations targeting 15 sectors in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa province is totally no-go for Pakistan. Pakistan initiated this Operation Ghazbul Haq in self-defense, carrying out precise and targeted operations against 7 terrorist camps and hideouts belonging to the TTP and ISKP in Afghanistan. Our actions, as I said, were very careful, and in this operation, initially 22 locations in Kabul, Kandahar, Paktiya, Nangarhar, Khost, and Paktika were subjected to aerial targeting, and all these targets were military installations which were carefully selected based on our intelligence. As a result of Pakistan befitting response to Afghan Taliban's regime against Pakistan, valiant forces targeted 37 locations in Afghanistan. 415 Taliban's regime personnel and Khawarij were eliminated. 182 posts completely destroyed. 31 posts captured. 185 tanks and APCs destroyed. 46 locations targeted across Afghanistan, as I stated earlier. Pakistan's 12 brave soldiers embraced shahadat, martyrdom, 27 injured, and 1 is missing in action. Our position is still, we desire peaceful, stable, regional integration and prosperous Pakistan. We are well-wisher and we will remain well-wisher. We have all the sympathy for the people, brothers and sisters in Afghanistan. But this is something which we have done against those elements who have been unfortunately sponsored or patronized by the Taliban regime in Afghanistan, and as a consequence, we have been, facing all these, terrorist activities, but still demonstrated patience for a very long time. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, We have repeatedly urged the Taliban regime to take immediate, concrete and verifiable measures against all terrorist groups operating from Afghan soil, including TTP, BLA and their affiliates. Regrettably, the Taliban regime has failed so far to undertake any concrete and verifiable actions against these groups despite our, despite repeated assurances which have been given to Pakistan at different levels, including to me. Despite Pakistan's numerous goodwill gestures and attempts to engage Taliban regime through mediation process, the regime remains unwilling to prevent in a serious way repeated terrorist attacks emanating from their soil. As I said, that which is a very strong instrument in Islam, what we call fatwa, the religious decree, and that too in the presence of the 1,000 prominent scholars, a few months back. But seems to be that on ground, hardly any action. Due to active support and facilitation extended by the Taliban regime to TTP, BLA and their affiliates, terrorist attacks against Pakistan have increased manifold, as I've given you all these statistics. Our civilian population, military and law and enforcement personnel, places of worship and infrastructures all have been targeted. I have quoted you all the detail what has happened. The fact is that Afghanistan, unfortunately, currently is a safe haven for multiple regional and international terrorist organizations, which has been well documented in the reports of the UN Security Council Analytical Support and Sanctions Monitoring Team. Afghan Taliban's regime serves as a master proxy of forces to destabilize Pakistan and the entire region. Terrorist organizations such as Fitna al-Khawarij, Fitna al-Hindustan and others work in close coordination and under patronage of the Taliban regime. It is also a well-established fact that TTP, whose entire leadership is based in Afghanistan, continues to operate with impunity from their soil, and they have yet not been kicked out from their country. Pakistan expects the international community to condemn the expanding terrorist threat which is emanating from Afghanistan and which is destabilizing activities in the entire region. We hope that the international community will play a constructive role by urging Afghan Taliban regime to uphold its commitment under the Doha Agreement not to allow its soil to be used in practice by terrorist organizations against the regional countries and the neighboring countries. Pakistan is a strong proponent of regional peace and stability, but the protection of Pakistan's sovereignty and the safety and security of our people is the foremost priority of the government of Pakistan and the state. Pakistan reserves the right to take all appropriate actions in its self-defense and to protect its citizens in accordance with the international law, including the UN Charter. So I'm extremely grateful that you have the inconvenience of adjournment of the yesterday sitting, and thank you for making it today. Thank you for your time, and I'll be happy to answer any questions if or any clarification if somebody wants to see. Thank you.
You very eloquently spoke about the need for diplomacy and restraint, the conflict in the West, in the Middle East, Iran and so forth. Would that suggest that we pursuing the avenues of diplomacy and negotiation with respect to what is going on with your other neighbor?
Sure. Well, first of all, we have the whole idea. We would have actually met 3-4 days ago because of my unavoidable participation in the OIC, and that again was for the cause of peace in the Middle East. I had to go, so that's why. So first of all these actions, as I said, they have been great restraint, in a very measured way, and at reaching a point where no more space was available to remain totally quiet and keep taking whatever is coming on our side. So we had to exercise, the actions we have taken, But we are still, frankly speaking, as I said, that we have the capability and capacity to deal with it in a massive manner. But we respect, the dialogue and diplomacy route. We gave it a chance. I won't walk you through to Qatar Ambassador, His Excellency is here, that the fanatic calls I had in October when they did all this massive, terrorist activities in Pakistan. We were ready to actually go ahead and then, put it, in a right, respond in a right manner. But we were requested by friendly countries that please give it the dialogue and diplomacy, as you are saying now. We give a chance, and you saw what happened in Doha. Yeah, despite their best efforts, the problem was that there were two nexus of power. Our team would agree with something, and the other side team will go and agree and go just to get the consent or the nod, and they would come back and wriggle out. I mean, this is the experience Qatar had. Same thing happened in Istanbul, and so it's not our fault. So we still prefer dialogue and diplomacy when we are counseling all other countries. And having during our presidency last year of UN Security Council, fixing a theme that multilateralism, peaceful settlement disputes. So we are the believers. So that is there. So your second part of the question, that since we are counseling everywhere this thing, that why not there, we are ready. But you see, it takes two to tango. We have been doing whatever we could, and I counted at very few things which during my visit we agreed and we implemented, and they acknowledged in July, no other than the Prime Minister of Afghanistan, His Excellency Mr. Akhund, that whatever you promised, we appreciate that you went back and within few weeks you implemented everything. It has the trade facilities, it has the economic actions, it has the political matters, it has every subject under the refugees. So we agreed everything and we implemented. So that's best you can. But unfortunately, as I said, it takes two to tango, and they never ended. And this responsibility they have to discharge if you have to come back to a peaceful neighbor. Otherwise, we have exercised a lot of patience, and this decision has been taken as a last resort. After exercising due patience, exercising complete restraint, so we are believer absolutely that we should go through the diplomatic dialogue route. Thank you so much for.
नाज़रीन, नायब वज़ीर आज़म मोहम्मद इसाक डार की सफ़रा को ईरान और